Seahawks. Nicholas, give me a winner and by how many?
This feels like a game where you're in the fourth quarter and you're like, oh my God, Seattle's down by 6. What's happening? And then Russell Wilson, 4 minutes left, gets the ball, drives down the field. Seattle by 1. Russell Wilson saves them again.
Oh, it feels like a game, Jenna, where this could potentially be over in the first half. The Seattle Seahawks could put up 21 points to their over in the first half.
Good.
And then you see the great Josh Allen come back. So we're going to go Seattle Seahawks by 6.
Okay.
Well, that was a roller coaster.
I'm going to go Seattle by 7. And the good thing about the Patriots being moderately terrible this year is not only do I root for the Patriots, I get to become a fan of all the other teams that play the Bills and now play the Dolphins. So go Seahawks.
Exactly.
I'll be sitting there on my couch with full Seahawks gear.
All right, I like
Borrow
it.
it from
As
Brandon.
always, make sure you get
Brandon's
your
got it.
picks in before kickoff on Sunday for your chance to win big money from
Great
much
Josh
more. You can
Allen's
always
going
head
to
over
come
the
back,
Fox
but it's going to be
Sports
short.
app.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
Ball short.
All right,
It's a real
time now
roller
for
coaster of
our
a take,
first things first. Mid-season awards. Steelers are 7-0, guys, for the first time since the steel curtain days of the 70s. Wiles, you can steal that line if you want for your next dinner party. But Brandon,
I like that.
The award for best team, no one's having dinner parties, goes to blank.
That's right.
The best team, I got to go with, Nick, the Chiefs. What a surprise. Nick didn't see that coming. It's the Chiefs. They're the most complete team in the NFL right now. They're actually better this year than they were last year because they're finding different ways to get it done. They're winning with Mahomes throwing the ball. They have a running game now. Their offensive line is finding ways to regroup after major injuries. Defensively, they're making plays, and even in special teams. This team is dangerous now, and we don't talk about them enough. But Nick, I know that was a surprise to you.
I'm shocked. I'm stupefied. I'm dumbfounded. I can't believe you're moving off your Super Bowl pick of the Steelers, who are undefeated. But you're right. You know, as the number 3 scoring defense in football, those Kansas City Chiefs. You know who's won each of their last 2 games by 4 touchdowns, but we haven't said a word about them? Those Kansas City Chiefs. And Wild, you know who still has far and away the best player in the NFL? Those Kansas City Chiefs. They're the best team. We know that. Come on. Everybody's playing for second place.
Okay.
We talk about the other team's creative.
I'm going to go off
They're the best.
I'm going to go off the board here and say the Bucs offensive line. I know we talked about it yesterday, but this is like a little miniature team. Actually, the MVP of the league and the best team. 98% of the snaps these guys have played. They've only missed 5 snaps the whole year. It's the reason for Tom Brady's success. It's the foundation of the whole team. This is the best team in football.
I like the little mini offshoot there. Moving on. The Eagles have stumbled to a 3-4-1 start thanks in large part to lackluster play from their quarterback. Carson Wentz leads the league with 12 interceptions. Brandon, the award for the most disappointing team goes to blank.
The Patriots. You got to start there. Look, there's something special that happens in the NFL locker room. It's called accountability. You got to call guys out to keep this thing on track. And Bill Belichick, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, hasn't gotten it done, whether as the head coach or the general manager. He didn't build this team up to compete this year. There's no depth on this team. Yeah, COVID is hitting every team, and you're seeing teams like the 49ers still find a way to win games here and there. And Bill Belichick just hasn't done a great job this year. They're the most disappointing team in the National Football League.
Yeah, I got to go with another team who's well below 500, whose quarterback is turning the ball over a ton, who you think they might make a quarterback change, and I'm going to go with Cleveland. Oh, wait, none of those things are true about the Browns? That's just the narrative? Okay, then I'll go with Dallas. The answer is the Cowboys. I'm a little annoyed with the Cowboys also because 2020, while it's been a horrible year in almost all regards, it has been an extraordinary year for my predictions. And the one glaring sore thumb error is I didn't just get my NFC Super Bowl pick wrong. I might have gotten it as wrong as you possibly can get a Super Bowl pick. They might get the third pick of the draft, and I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. And at the end of this year, Wilds, I think some folks are going to be like, well, Dak got hurt. This team was a mess and was in free fall before Dak got hurt. So to me, it's the Cowboys.
Okay, here comes the take that if you have a hazmat suit at home, you might want to put on because there's going to be fire coming out of your television. Back up, put your children in another room because here we go. I'm not sure the Falcons are that bad. I'm really disappointed in them, but if you look at the way they lost, I'm like, not only are they not bad, the Falcons are actually pretty good. They lost to the Cowboys on that weird onside kick. They actually lost the game by scoring a touchdown, and they lost that weird Nick Foles game to the Bears. And then they did win 2 games. So I'm like, the Falcons are a good team. Now you can take your hazmat suit off. That's it. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I think that's a good take.
It's a good take.
On to a little MVP talk for those of us who don't currently own a hazmat suit just laying around. Couple of veteran quarterbacks always seem to be part of the MVP conversation, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They've both led their teams to the top of their respective divisions at the midway mark. But Brandon, the most valuable player award goes to blank.
I like that.
Let me see. We got Aaron Donald playing really good. You even have Derrick Henry, who's playing really good. Tom Brady is playing really good. He's actually playing the way he did in 2007 and 2010 when he won league MVP.
Given all the answers.
But I'm not going to move off of my preseason prediction. It's Russell Wilson. This guy is so good that he makes being good look boring. Like it's just Mr. Consistent. This isn't a trend. This isn't a fad. He's not playing lights out.
Unlimited.
This is Russell Wilson's game, folks. Russell Wilson will win league MVP.
Okay.
All right, so Russell Wilson is certainly the trendy pick right now. But the answer, and folks are going to say, yeah, of course you're going to say this, Nick. Of course I'm going to say this because it's the right answer. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's on pace for 42 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He has 21 touchdowns and 1 pick all year. That is so if in the next game he throws 5 interceptions, he'll tie Russell Wilson in that category. He's barely behind him in quarterback rating. He's ahead of him in total QBR if you care about that. And I happen to think that if Seattle drops another game and all of a sudden they're not surefire going to win that division, can't win the MVP if you don't win your own division as a quarterback. That's what history tells us. Not only should Mahomes get it, Mahomes might actually get it. And so I'm going to say Patrick Mahomes.
You know what? I'm just tired of quarterbacks getting all the MVPs. I want to go back to Barry Sanders getting the MVP. That's why I got Derrick Henry. Here's a fun fact for you. Last week was the first week that Derrick Henry ran for over 100 yards and the Titans lost. So they are 16-1 when Derrick Henry runs over 100 yards. So that's the definition of MVP. If I play well, the team wins. If I don't, we lose. That's why I'm the MVP.
That's good. I like that.
Speaking of Derrick Henry, possibly the play of the year here when he broke the internet. Maybe Josh Norman too with this thunderous stiff arm in week 5.
That's what you did to Nick earlier.
Highlight goes to blank. Thank you.
Jenna, that's what you did to Nick earlier when you guys were talking about Baker Mayfield. And I'm on to you, Nick. Every time we talk about a quarterback, you just go to the other end of the spectrum just to create some havoc. All right, so listen. This right here goes to DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf, there's not a ton of great plays out there right now, so I'm excited about the second half of the season. But this dude clocked 23 miles per hour on what would have been a pick 6. You just don't see this. Look at the knee drive. Usain Bolt can't beat this guy in a 40 or even 100 or the 200. Buda Baker was mic'd up, and Buda Baker said, how the heck did this guy catch my blank? I love it.
Yep. So, Brandon, I'm also going to go with DK Metcalf, but a different DK Metcalf play. Because this next play got about 1% of the run as the play you just showed. And I hope we can run it. because this should never be a touchdown. This is a 6-yard game. 4 Niners have the angle on him, and he just casually beats them all to the sideline. This was absolutely mystifying to me. He beats everyone who has an angle and then keeps his balance on the sideline. Wilds, I think that's the most impressive touchdown of the year, and I don't think it even made the night highlights that Sunday. This guy is a marvel, an absolute marvel, and I got to give Brandon credit. Brandon was the first person in the whole country I heard say DK Metcalf is the best receiver in the NFL. Now, unfortunately for Brandon, that hurts Russell Wilson's MVP case because now you're like, well, he does have the best receiver in the league. But DK Metcalf, unbelievable play, Wilds.
Stop this smear campaign, Nick. Stop this smear campaign.
Some people are going to say that the Daniel Jones long run was actually a low light, but for me, it's the highlight, and I think that's going to save Daniel Jones' job at some point. Daniel Jones is straight up mobile. He's not sneaky mobile. He's straight up mobile, but we didn't really have a defining play. So I think when it comes down to like, I don't know, should we move on from Daniel Jones? Everybody will remember this play more because he fell. Like, no, remember that big run he had and he fell? If he just doesn't fall, it's one of the most amazing runs of the year. We got to keep this guy. So I think this low light ends up saving Daniel's job or just gives him more time until they, draft Arch Manning.
Can I say something here?
Go.
Hold on. Can I say something here? Wilds, you know how much I adore you and how much I think you've helped this show. That might be the worst take ever given on sports television. That might win the gold. That when they are evaluating whether or not to keep Daniel Jones, they're going to say, remember the time he fell down? That's why we keep him? Because even when he's running free, he can't
It's the silver lining, Nick. It's the silver lining. I love it, Wilds. It's the silver lining.
Guys, you know the one guy nobody mentioned for MVP or for highlight or for anything? Baker Mayfield.
Christ.
Has this guy played well enough to prove he's the future at quarterback for the Browns? That's next. First things first. Nobody mentioned his name.
Don't do this to us, Jen.